Hello, hello, hello. Yes, I'm back. Uh, Not raced for about 4 weeks or so. So here is the first race I have done in the time I have been gone for. If any of you don't know, which I know a lot of people don't know, um, I have multiple sclerosis, which is a lifelong chronic illness, and it affects my energy levels and makes me feel fatigued faster than what it does on an ordinary person who's not got my illness. Um, so when it comes to racing Warrington, if you race it before, you will understand it is a very physically demanding track, and yeah, it's surprising how I managed to last so long, to be honest. Uh, there is a member, Ian Ferry. He actually races with one arm, so kudos to him because that is somewhat impressive. Uh, got the flag test out of the way straight away, as we always do. I am actually on track. Behind me is Nathan, and behind Nathan is Connor. So I know that us three relatively similar on pace, and it turns out the rest of the people who we was racing with were also pretty impressive. I don't think I came across any back markers in the two races I did. I had to, well, this was the members brief 2. I didn't race the third race for personal reasons, but this is kind of the only race that was useful for content. Right, anyways, comment on the video. Sorry, on the racing. I came out the pit lanes, I'm in kart 7, and I was like, oh, this car feels fast. Now, I've not raced for 4 weeks, like I said, so I'm not sure if I was thinking it was fast, and it wasn't so fast. It felt it, but at the end of this race, I do come off with a 58.8, so it must have been somewhat decent. I did notice that Nathan, the guy right at the very front now, it nudged me twice, and this is a race session where we just race for lap times, so there's no point of me holding him up, and there's no point of holding myself up by trying to contend with someone who is benefiting from being behind me, which he was. So I let Nathan pass, and then Nathan was pretty much followed by Connor. Connor's in a Red Bull suit. So yeah, I let them both pass, and now I'm just playing catch up to Connor. This is actually probably one of our best races in terms of having fun I've had probably all year. It was just very competitive. I do end up passing Connor, maybe in a few laps or something, and then I pretty much stick onto Nathan straight away. So my kart, how do I comment on my kart? Like I said, it felt fast, it felt good. The other thing that probably let it down was, you'll notice it in this video, throughout this sector here, I am rapid, my grip is insane. When I get to the wooden section, it becomes noticeable that Nathan at the very front is faster through that sector than I am. And I did notice that my throttle response coming out of the final hairpin could have been a little bit better, but I was actually having fun because my car felt somewhat balanced. Now you're either going to get, what I'd say, a grippy kart, a slidey kart but it's fast, and then if you take them all into consideration, the karts do become quite balanced. It just depends how you can race them and adapt to them. If you're going to bring in karts and say, oh, it's shit or whatnot, I hear this all the time, I hear this from members, when in fact the kart could actually be driven better. You could let off the gas more, you could maybe brake once more where you wouldn't brake. That is purely an experience thing. Well, I am getting closer to Connor, and I'm pretty sure Connor is aware that I am here. Now, Connor, I'm not sure how much weight Connor has on me. I think he's probably got about 10 kilo on me or something. And I know his personal best is 58.5 maybe, or 58.6. So, for that weight class of racer, that is pretty fast. Now, I did say we wasn't going to come across a back marker, but maybe there's just this one in this race. I actually can't remember. This race was last Monday. I'm editing this 6 days onwards, so I'm not too sure. But I do lead this sector, and I'm pretty much on Connor's tail. Yeah, he's looking to his right, and he lets me pass. See, when you're racing, especially in friend groups like that, there's literally no point in holding each other up. We're here to have fun, which we do. We're having fun little battles here and there. I can see Nathan is now on the tail of someone. Not entirely sure who it is. But yeah, he gives all of us plenty of space. Kudos to him. And now we are back racing. That kind of helped me out a little bit, because Nathan had a tiny gap advantage. But when he fell behind the back marker there, it slowed him down and it helped me catch up to Nathan. So in terms of racing now, I do have the benefit in this situation. It's always better to be behind someone in racing, mainly because obviously you got slipstream, and if you're following exactly what they're doing, then you can always technically be faster than what they're doing, because you're getting a slipstream and you're doing the exact same lines, which is why I probably beat Nathan in this session. There wasn't anything in it, I don't think, maybe 0.1 at the end of the race. Race 2, which I won't upload, it was quite a boring race. It's literally just me on the in the front on my own. Nothing to contend with. But in the second race, Nathan is actually behind me. Now I do a 58.722, and Nathan behind me does a 58.7 dead. Yeah, so I'm a big believer in the person behind. If they can match your pace, they will always beat you. Just for the clean air. It's like Formula 1. If you're coming into the last long straight and you get the DRS zone, whatever, or just a slipstream in general, then you are going to be faster just because you've got the clean air. That is just science. I'm not a scientist, so I can't really explain how physics work like that, but it's just common sense. So now, the rest of this race is literally just me and Nathan pretty much doing identical moves. This is the corner where I feel like Nathan gets me on. Like, if you watch the way he accelerates through this bit, like now, he has pulled a gap away from me, which I just couldn't match. So I'm assuming, when I think about it, it's down to my acceleration out of the corner. Through this sector, like I said, I gain on him massively. This was definitely my best sector of the night. The cars just loved racing through this tarmac for me, which is unusual. Usually I get a car that's quite slidey, but it's showing good pace, so you just need to learn how to control a slippy car more efficiently. You can see I'm literally on his back end, but then as soon as we go up this ramp, yeah, we go through here. It takes this a lot narrower than me. I probably should have took it narrower, but I'm still on him. Still on him. And then, if point proven, we go through this wooden bit, and he's pulled a big gap again. So yeah, not really much I can do about that. It was actually quite fun. The reason this was fun was because he was gaining time there, and I was gaining time here. You can see how far away he actually was in front of me. until this tarmac section when I just bring it all back, and it's just rinse and repeat for the rest of the race, pretty much. I was getting really good exits to this underneath part. Everything I did was just great. I see Nathan's just checking to see where I am. He knows that I won't do any stupid moves. I won't dive bomb any corner when he's got the right of way. I'm pretty sure he trusts me when I'm behind him. Likewise, when he's behind me, if I need the space, he will give me the space, and if he needs the space, I will give him the space. That's how indoor karting should be. You can see that he's looking to his right there, and then he's probably thinking, wow, I'm quite far ahead. But it just seems to be, if you rewind every lap and just watch the last hairpin in the wooden section before the big down ramp, he gained all his time there, and then I just gained it all back in the tarmac. So it's very strange. But like I said, because my kart was very grippy, maybe having a more slidey kart, which if I do watch Nathan's kart closely, he is sliding like ever so slightly on a few corners, so that probably benefits him more on this small slippy section of the track, whereas the tarmac and the full grip for me just benefits me. So yeah, unfortunately you can't have a kart that does everything perfectly, but every kart pretty much I'd say it is similar in some sort of way. Like, you're never gonna... if you could get a kart that did all the track perfectly, you would hit lap record after lap record after lap record. But it's not. It's pretty much luck of the draw. Though the times in the end are really similar. Like I said, in 2 races, me and Nathan, right in front of me, was probably only 0.8 in time difference between 2 races combined, because I beat him on this first race and he beats me on the second race. So yeah, it just goes to show, if you use your kart for its strengths, you can do really good times. And if this was a race format like the Thursday night members events, you could punish people if you found out their weaknesses compared to your strengths. Like, again, you can see the gap is just massive there. That's a good half-second gap, but it soon closes back when we go through the tarmac. This is why this race was enjoyable for me. Like, I was catching up, losing it, and then catching up again, and it just keeps you going. If this race could have went on all night, and I would have felt great. It's when you're racing with no one, and you just start racing, and you kind of get bored. It's a strange feeling when you're racing. I think it's adrenaline when you're chasing someone. It keeps you going. But yeah, I do get very tired very fast. A few members might notice that on Thursday events, if it's a 60-minute flat-out race, they will be lucky if they see me do over half the race, just because I am actually super tired. I come into the pit lanes here because I saw, I think was it MJ crossing over the bridge, so I knew that the race was going to end on this next lap. I seen Nathan carried on. I spoke to Nathan after the race, and he said he was on a good lap, so fair enough. Yeah, that's the race over.